All right, guys. Hopefully we're recording. So I'm sitting in the dark here. I'm not used to this. I'm used to having a crowd here for these challenge seminars, but how our world has changed and flipped upside down. So here I am, sitting in front of a computer screen and not a very reactive audience. So anyway, bear with me, and hopefully there's not too many technical hiccups anyway. But we're here for the 45-day challenge, and it's our first one. We've moved on from the 8-week challenge in studio. We're on to 45 days in isolation, in our homes, and we're going to do the best we can. So it's a little bit different, and our studios in particular are making it very different because of the situation, and because of the need now more than ever, considering we're only 3 weeks in, even though it feels like 3 years, to find a bit of rhythm and routine in our lives, a bit of accountability, and start preparing for, however long this goes for, and making it part of our day-to-day lives. So that's why we're here. That's why we've assembled our little dream team, so to speak. But welcome. My name is Hamish. I'm the owner of a few F45s, and I live and breathe it and absolutely love the product. And like many of you, and I know many of you, I'm very much missing the studio environment, but doing the best I can working out from home. For those of you that have never met me, hello. I suppose I need to prove myself a little bit, or just to build your trust. So I'm going to first delve into your brain and read your mind. For those of you who've heard me read their mind before, bear with me. But I want you to take a number between 1 and 10. Yes, that's the easy part. Then you're going to multiply that number by 9. Okay. Sorry, you didn't think this was interactive through a computer screen, did you? Once you've got that number, if you've got a 2-digit number, I want you to add the numbers together. Once you've added those numbers together, I want you to subtract 5. You with me? Good. Then find the corresponding letter in the alphabet. So 1 would be A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, etc., etc. So now you should have a letter. I want you to think of a country that begins with that letter. All right, I'll give you a little bit of time with this one. A country that begins with that letter. Got it? All right, now take the second letter from that country, the second letter. I want you to think of a large animal. A large animal and a country. And what colour is that animal? All right. Now, if you can post it down below, tell me what your answer was. I'd be very interested to see. Are you an orangutan in the Dominican Republic? Probably not. Chances are you are. Oh, hang on. You are. Hang on. There it is. You're an elephant in Denmark. So there you are. Now you all trust me. So we can move on. So the F45 45-day challenge, the ISO challenge, so to speak, is here. And yes, it's a little bit about transforming your physique. And we can definitely do that. Like always, F45 is the brand at doing that. We've seen it time and time again. The before and afters that F45 produce are second to none. I've been in this game for over 20 years, and no one can do transformations like F45. That said, we are in unique times, and personally, I think it should just be about getting through the next 45 days with your sanity, with your health, and yes, if you get aesthetic benefits, then absolutely it's a bonus. But at the end of the day, it's just about building routine, feeling good, making that exercise priority. So it feels like you're achieving something in the day, and it feels like we're succeeding and doing something for our bodies, doing something for our health, doing something for our mindset. Okay. At the end of the day, being healthy is the key, and we're transforming from the inside out. We're all born to be superheroes, and in this day and age, isn't this very pertinent? We're looking at those people that are on the front line against this war on coronavirus, and the risks they're putting themselves through, and it's the people we look up to. Now, I believe that everyone wants to help other people. I think it's an innate thing, and I often refer back to when we were children. Think yourself when you're a young child. You ask a young child what they want to do and tend to be, I want to be a superhero. I want to be a train driver, a fireman. I want to be a police officer, usually, or a nurse or a doctor. Often or a teacher. The things revolved around other people, about helping people. So I think we're all made to actually help people. And I believe in collaboration. And so part of that is why this challenge has come to, and I've brought on more people whose expertise are far above and beyond mine when it comes to, in particular, nutrition, when it comes to mindset, and when it comes to recovery and rehab, okay? So this is the team. You've got your F45 master coaches. Now they're your go-to, okay? Your managers of each studio are your go-to. Like, as you know, they bring the energy, they do the workouts. They are the ones that can help you achieve anything you like. And please utilize them. They're there to help. They love helping people just like I do and just like everyone in this group does, okay? Now we've added to that group, we've added Alice there. Alice is our nutrition coach. She's a dietitian, also a bit of an F45 junkie as well. So she knows what she's talking about and she practices what she preaches, okay? Luke is a chiro and a really well-known chiro, especially in the sport performance field. And he's here to keep our bodies from being able to maintain this movement, especially as we're sitting down more than we ever would have in the past. And then Caitlin is delving into our mind and our mindset coach, because especially in this environment, in isolation, we are all going to battle, and we know it's going to happen with the little voices in our head that are telling us different things, okay? We're all in a very foreign environment, and that's why building these new routines is so, so important, okay? So what's included in this challenge? It's going to be a little bit different to usual, primarily because you're not going to be leaving the front door, okay? You've got your F45 live sessions, which are your Zoom calls with your master trainers at each studio. Please jump into those calls if you can. The more people in them, the better. It does allow us to actually PT you, okay? So calling in live is the best thing. They'll be live every morning. You will have access to the recording for the rest of the day and another couple of days as well. So you can always catch up. You can do, if you're a nighttime person and can't make the morning session, that's fine. Just get to it. The aim is to just build routine, do it at whatever time works for you. But again, we're trying to build a habit. So our daily Zoom calls are really important, okay? On top of that, there's going to be a mid-morning quarantine coffee, okay? This will be, once again, with your studio master trainers. And they're there to answer your questions, and they're there just to be there. So I know some people are actually in this alone. Imagine you're living in a bed sit with no office, just a bed and a desk, and that's it. No family, no animals. Like it would be really tough, and I know people that are doing that. So for a lot of people, it's just about interaction. So this is the time to call up and just be there, okay? Otherwise, if you've got any questions about the workouts, questions about nutrition, questions about anything, this is the time to ask them, and we can forward them up to the experts, or else you can just have that conversation in there with your master trainers, because they too are an absolute wealth of knowledge. Mid-morning coffees, make sure you jump on board that live Zoom as well. Now, there's a daily iso break exercise of the day. This is because we are doing far less exercise, or should I say movement, day to day. We're not walking to the car and parking, or walking to the train station and catching the train and then walking and then taking the stairs and just moving around. There's far less of that just day-to-day movement, okay? That's why, one, the sessions are still really important, but still it'd be really good if we can all try and hit our 10,000 steps on top of that, okay? It sounds like a lot. It actually is a lot. It means you'll probably have to add in another walk, or at least do several of these little iso break exercises a day. They're there, one, to break up your day so you're active, but two, just to get you off the couch or get you off the desk and to move, okay? So it's to get you up and about, moving around, flush the body with blood. It'll wake you up. It'll make you feel better. It'll correct your posture a little bit, and then you can get back to it. So I want you to try and hit these 4 or 5, hence the 45, times a day, okay? 4 or 5 sets. They're 45 seconds each only, but just see if you can break up your day, break up your Netflix series with an iso break exercise in the day. There'll be your evening quarantine quickies. So the trainers, the master trainers will be putting up their own versions, and some of these might be, you know, little aerobics routines like this. There could be a little stretch and release. There could be a little glute activation fire, or a little ab session, or a little plyometric session. You know, and they'll be given to you in different formats. They might be written, they might be video, whatever they look like. It's just another option, okay? So if you can't get to the Zoom call, or if you just don't have the energy to hit that 45-minute session in the morning, or the replay throughout the day, then I want you to get a quarantine quickie in, all right? No, get your mind out of there. It's a 15 to 20-minute hardcore session just on a targeted body area or some type of little niche movement, okay? They'll be going up every afternoon. And again, if you can do that as well, perfect. The more movement, the better. Whoa, that's interesting. If you look at that in the mirror, that is a little accountability tool, okay? It will be set up probably in week 3 once we build that momentum and build those things in place. And it will be a little checklist of everything you should do in a day. And if you can read that, you're doing a lot better than I am. But it'll essentially be an app that sends you something at night and will say, did you do this, 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 and this? Okay, just to build those habits. So let's meet the experts. There's Caitlin here. Caitlin will be in charge of your mindset. All these guys will be jumping online soon. Caitlin will be on this Thursday to talk mindset with you and just set you up for success. I won't say too much about Caitlin. I'll let her introduce herself, but she knows exactly what she's talking about. She's the perfect person to introduce week 1. Alice will be with us as well. And all these guys will be putting up a weekly video for us to learn and take in another educational step, I suppose, to building the arsenal of tools that we need to get through this. Alice is, again, a resident F45er, and she is a dietitian now, working in one of the hospitals, which would be tough, but she is, again, a wealth of knowledge and an amazing asset for us. So make sure, again, you utilize these guys. Finally, we've got Luke. Luke is our movement specialist, especially when it comes to recovery or injuries. And with this, where we're going to be sitting down so much, you might find your lower back tightens up, your hip flexors tighten up. Your shoulders slump a little bit, okay? It's really important we learn to maintain our posture, and Luke will help us out with that, as well as staying injury-proof, or should we call it bulletproof, throughout the whole 45 days. Oh, and this dude, that's me. I'll be giving you a few little secrets, touching base every week. Just make sure you're going the right direction. There is also the option, and I'd love you to take it, of a one-on-one strategy session. It's not face-to-face. It will be over the phone or over Zoom or however you want to do it, but it is always there to just speak with your master coach, okay? Spend a good half hour just mapping out everything you want to do. It doesn't matter what questions you bring, but do come prepared. Talk about, you know, what results you want to achieve, and they'll give you tips for your specific, because we are all individuals. Bioindividuality means we have different genetics, different movement patterns, different strengths and weaknesses, different nutritional habits and allergens, and etc. So we're all unique. We all respond to everything differently. So please do get in contact with your master trainer at the studio, and they will help you out there. Really important that you jump onto your studio Facebook members page. Make sure you're a member there. From there, you'll get an invite onto the Zoom page. It could be called ISO exercises or whatever it may be, but that will be where your daily Zoom calls get uploaded to. The members page will be where a lot of the conversation takes place. There'll be resources going up every day, so really important you are utilizing that. So if you're not on already, please do jump on. Now, as I rush through the rest, I want you to drop down into that squat position, because you've already listened to me for long enough, and that's exactly what you should look like, all right? With your noggin in neutral position, your nice upright torso, neutral spine we call it, with your hips sitting back nice and low, you know, flat feet, shoulder width apart, knees tracking over the toes. Wouldn't it be nice if we all still moved like that? Now, part of the beauty of going back to being in isolation, or there's not many advantages, but one is that we are going to have to start to utilize our body weight a lot. And part of that will be involving the correct squat or the correct sitting position, which is this movement. So you can drop down now and see if you can hold that as I get through the rest of this. And I'll go nice and quickly just to help you out. So down you go, and you drop down, come on the heels, Flat feet. That's it. All right, holding there. So this is about healthy habits, okay? We're trying to build out just like cleaning your teeth. Hopefully you've all cleaned your teeth. Did you all clean your teeth? Yes. Did you? Yes, good. I want these habits to be like cleaning your teeth so that every day it just becomes part of you, part of your day. It's not a negotiable, it's what I do because it becomes you. Your habits, as it says there, success is the sum of the small efforts repeated day in and day out. And these small efforts are these healthy habits that we're trying to build. Now, the app is there for you to use, okay? So if you want to utilize it, especially as far as the nutrition plan goes, you can. Again, I'm not going to push it because it is very different this time. It's hard to go shopping all the time, and having lots of different food sources makes it difficult. And this is, again, very much about health as opposed to body composition. Body composition will be a secondary benefit. The foods on the app are the same, but Alice will give us a few examples and some good cooking tips as well. But I want you to learn like a staple of, and it's a great chance to learn cooking while we're stuck at home, right? Just a staple of healthy meals that one, you enjoy, and two, that you learn how to cook, and you can cook quickly and comfortably, and the whole family, or if you've got a whole family there, or your partner can enjoy, that become just, again, part of your habit, part of your repertoire. You can order packaged meals. There's certainly the F45 challenge meals if you want them. They're a great tool, especially if you're going to sabotage yourself and head to Uber Eats. Better off just grabbing a meal out of your fridge or your freezer and going, all right, this is a good substitute. Or if you just don't have the time or the inclination to cook at all, then potentially it's a good way to do it. Now, the calorie intake will sit around the same, and Alice will talk a lot more in depth about this than I will here. But if you are going onto the challenge app, then it is set at 1,300 calories for females and 1,900 calories for men. Because we don't have your in-body scans, because we can't at this stage, we don't know what your BMR is, so we can't amend it according to that. But as you can see on the other side of the screen here, the more you're training, the more calories you should add every day. I'd preferably prefer females to be up around the 1,700 calories and the men up close to 2,500. Of course, it depends on your size. The bigger you are, the more muscle you hold, the more calories you tend to burn at rest. But if we're trying to lose weight, we need to be in a deficit without being in too much of a deficit to create that hormonal rebound. You can always add more vegetables. It's really hard to overeat vegetables. So please, anything that's clean, single ingredient, please dig into it. And a protein shake is a really handy tool to have as well. A checklist will change. This is the old one. There are shopping lists there as always. Now, photos are really important. It's changed, obviously, not having our in-body scans and being able to do that. Please still do your photos. There's going to be another post that I'll put up, which are all the other requirements for the actual true application. If you are planning on submitting your photos and submitting for the HQ prizes, then please do the rest of them, which will be measurements, etc. But at the very least, do take some photos, because often we don't notice the changes within ourselves, and it takes a photo before we go, oh, wow, I can see that, okay? Wear your best undies, the ones without the holes. You may feel a bit silly. You don't need to send them to us. They are for you, but please do it, because again, we have had people in the past that haven't taken before photos. They've done amazing transformations and then always regretted it. So let's take it back a step and build a reason as to why you're going to get through these next 45 days and why you're going to build these healthy habits in, okay? Your why is very unique and it's very individual. It goes down to your core beliefs. You need to find the motivation. So if I asked you, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this challenge? Why did you put your details in? What would you answer? All right, now I want you to take that answer down a step to say, oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I just want to feel better. Why? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to feel better? What's the next layer below? Because we need to find something a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger that will resonate with you, that will be a powerful enough impetus for you to avoid the sabotage. Because there'll be plenty of these forks in the road where you'll have to choose. All right, do I fall off the bandwagon here, or do I continue on with these healthy habits? If you fall off, then that's fine. You can jump back on. But the more you do it, the harder it's going to be for you. Okay. So you need to, every time you hit this fork in the road, I want you to be thinking, all right, what's my why? Is my reason to succeed stronger than my reason to sabotage myself right now? Okay. Now, Caitlin, when she talks about mindset, will run over, I'm sure, something similar to this, a lot better presented than I can. But have a think about it, write it down. What's your reason? What goals do you have? Okay. So put it in there. What are your goals? How are you going to create them? And we've already kind of mapped out what your action items should be. How often are you going to train? Are you going to jump in the daily Zoom every day? How often are you going to do your ISO break? How often are you going to do your quarantine quickies at night? Are you going to try and get all 3 of them done every day? That would be amazing. Or are you going to try and at least do 1 out of the 3 every day, or 2 out of the 3 every day? And 45 days down the track, how are you going to reward yourself? Because we often don't. We often don't look back and recognize where we've come from. How are you going to say, this is where I've come from. These are the habits I've built. Here's where I am now. I'm going to reward myself. What's that going to look like? I don't want to revolve around a big thing of Easter eggs like I did yesterday. I want it to be a treat for yourself. Maybe, I don't know, a weekend away. Wouldn't that be amazing? You have to be able to leave the house then. Anyway, let's move on. Some habits. If you're still in that squat position, by the way, I forgot about you. Congratulations, you've done amazingly well. You can take a seat now or stand up, shake out those legs. They should be burning. Just a few quick habits here. I want you to sweat every day, okay? No excuse not to now. You can't say you don't have time. You do, because there's not a lot of travel time now. You're at home most of the time. You need to sweat every day, okay? Go for a walk. Make sure you're doing the strength training either in our sessions or outside our sessions, as well as the cardio training, okay? The beauty of F45, because it combines both, that's why the results are so good. But again, we're not doing incidental activity, not the amount we're used to. So do your little ISO break challenge exercises regularly, or go for a nice long walk. Take the dog for another walk. That poor dog has never been so fit. Just eat real food, pretty simple. And Alice will talk a lot more about this, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, you need to eat foods that are natural, real foods, foods that only come with one ingredient, themselves, okay? If you look through the middle of the supermarket and you look at the back of the boxes or the packets and you read the ingredients, do you even understand what half of them mean? Probably not, right? So really important. And think about shopping at markets or shopping the way we were meant to shop, or farming. They're the foods we want to be eating, okay? Real foods. And remember, you are what you eat. Like, you actually are what you eat. The food that goes in you becomes you, okay? So it's really, really important that you think about, if you want to reflect on the outside, health, vitality, then think about what goes on the inside. I'll leave the rest to Alice. Calories are king. And remember, we need that calorie balance to be negative if we're trying to lose weight, positive if we're trying to put on weight. Body composition is more important, is kind of based more around macros, okay, and training. So protein is really important. Again, Alice will mention this a lot, but protein is really, really important, because protein is the building blocks, especially of our complete body, okay? Amino acids are key. And then carbs and fats both have a place. There's no demonizing food. There's no black and white. All food is food, is fuel. It's not good or bad. It's just, there's better, definitely. And there's occasional foods that are treats, but don't demonize foods and beat yourself up for eating them, okay? Just recognize them. We'll try and talk about that as we go on. Meal timing is not what it used to be. We used to always say, you had to keep the furnace stoked. You had to eat regularly. But now as all this fasting information is coming out, we're realizing that people are a little bit different. Some people do well when not eating so often and only eating 2 or 3 meals a day. And that's fine. It's absolutely fine. So you've got to find what works for you. Again, it's this whole individuality thing. But at the end of the day, it's planning that's important. It's meal prep and meal planning. They're 2 of the big secrets to success. I'm going to let digestion, I'll leave that with Alice as well. But I do recommend either a lemon water or a little shot of apple cider vinegar with a little bit of cayenne pepper if you can in the morning, just to, again, fire up the body and get your digestion starting. Once again, Alice will talk about allergens, but just from experience, what we tend to find is if you were dark hair, dark eye growing up, so Asian ancestry, chances are you're lactose sensitive, if not lactose intolerant. And if you were fair hair, blue-green eyes, chances are you're gluten sensitive, not necessarily gluten intolerant, but gluten sensitive. So if you do take in a lot of gluten and you are that heritage, try removing it and see if it does lift the cloud out of your head, that fogginess, or make you just feel more energized. And the same, soy is another interesting one. Alice will talk about soy, I'm sure, but a little thing I often refer to is the fact that the Japanese housewives used to give their husbands unfermented soy when they wanted them to become infertile after they had enough children. Okay, so fermented soy is amazing, it's great stuff, but unfermented soy, not so good with the estrogen effect. Love your guts. Now we're finding out more and more about the importance of your microbiome and your gut health, and also its relationship with the way you feel. We always say, you know, mindset's key. It all starts up here. But do you know, like 70% of our serotonin is actually produced in our gut. So maybe it's what goes in our mouth that determines how we think, as opposed to how we think that determines what goes in our mouth. I'm sure it goes both ways, and the experts will tell us about that. But be aware that there is this relationship about the way you feel is potentially starts what goes in here, okay? So your microbiome, make sure you're looking after them. Stress management, a little bit of stress management is a huge one. We are all in a state of stress at the moment. There's a lot of people in a state of fear and uncertainty just because of the current state of the world. But just be aware of your feelings, and you need to find a way to switch off the stress or recognize the stress and work out how you can step away from it. Okay, Caitlin will help us this. We'll talk about mindfulness. We'll talk about the power of the breath. And of course, coffee is a stimulator. It's another stress, but it's also great for not just for an escape, but it's also great for pre-workout. So coffee has several benefits, and we'll do a little video on coffee itself. But just be aware of your stress and make sure you're taking time out for yourself, for the things you love that can balance out all this yin and yang and all the yang that's being forced upon us, okay? Sleep is key, okay? Remember, your body is actually getting stronger. Your body is actually recovering overnight, more so than when you're working out, okay? So you have to sleep. You need to be getting 7.5 hours, preferably in this environment, up to 9 hours for some people. The 7.5 hours, I think, is the secret number, minimum of 6 hours. And you need to be in a routine, going to bed at a similar time every night, waking up at a similar time, making sure your room is peaceful, dark, and really silent, okay? No LED lights, and your phone is off as well. There's also some information coming about the power of a power nap. And I know in isolation, a few people have been having these too, the old mid-afternoon siesta. Now, the environment we're in. So it's hard for us now to control your training environment because your training environment has now become your home environment, and your work environment has now become your home environment, and your social environment is pretty much stuck at home as well. So suddenly you need to make your home a conducive environment for training, a conducive environment for work, a conducive environment for socializing, whatever that looks like, be it with us or be it with your Zoom mates, house party mates, whatever it looks like, or be it just with your family and your home environment. Okay, just be aware of those environments and how they affect you and the potential of sabotage within those. Smart supplements, we'll do a separate video on supplements, but some of the ones I recommend are magnesium, apple cider vinegar, definitely a protein powder, a greens drink to hit your macros if you're not. Probiotics are great, and vitamin D, especially now that we're coming into winter. I think a lot of people, and especially people, my clients in the past, are always had a very low vitamin D levels. So I do recommend it for everyone. So that's pretty much it. And as you see, we're not team training now. We're F45 live training, life-changing. Again, make sure you go to your Facebook group and you start to get organized. Introduce yourself to online to everyone else. Tell people what your goals are. And yeah, again, we're here for you. We're here as a group, and our aim is for you to succeed and for you to get through this as best you can, but not alone. Okay, so please reach out if you need advice or a hand from myself or from any of the other experts or the lead trainers, the managers, the coaches. We're all here to help. So join up your Facebook group now. Make sure you start to get organized. Okay, so start mapping in your sessions, knowing when they are and when you're going to be setting your alarm to do them. Make sure you've got that environment set up so you can be productive on the spot, and then start thinking about your food and nutrition. Okay, how are you going to start building those healthy meals in? It might be you building your own meal plan, or it might be you following another meal plan. But again, learn those basic cooking skills and we will all succeed together. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you've got any questions, please let me know, and you can get in touch with me through your studio manager. And I look forward to seeing you over the next 6 and a little bit weeks. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you later.